Hey guys, Mecha-san here with a Mojo Plays reaction video here, and one about a subject that I think appropriate considering I'm deciding on what to play for a New Year's stream. Ever since it was someone thought about I should do one here, like what should I play for the New Year's day and night. I'm already thinking of what was recommended for me here. War of Cybertron, which and there's the original 40K Space Marine, which I've got for 360. And after the latest death battle, I'm certainly thinking about playing Ashura's Wrath, 360 as well. And this video here makes me think I could pick up other games, possible future for a possible choice as well. It's the top 10, or not top, just 10 beloved PlayStation franchises we may never see again, and just the two games they had in the thumbnail really depressed me. So, let's see here. There are a lot of franchises that... Why are you letting the IP just collect dust? I just finished playing the Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope main story. I will do the DLC later here, but yeah, Ubisoft, you're having money troubles here. Why not bring back Rayman? Why not the Prince of Persia games here? You got a bit of a trilogy for Sands of Time, but what about the one that came after that? Forgot what it was here, but I have that game. The one that came out for the PS3. And I should play that again one day. I should. In fact, maybe I should have that as a possible list. Tell people, do you want me to see the post Sands of Time trilogy game that came out for PS3? I never did. I mean, I beat that game, but I beat it before the extension post epilogue came out, so never did that one. But yeah, you got Rayman and stuff like that. I don't get it. Now they're gonna sell 10-cent.
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we're taking a look at 10...
Alrighty, Heavenly Sword! Yeah! This is one of the games I actually put up on a poll a while ago if you guys want me to play, but...
PlayStation IPs
I'll be up for playing that one.
Never see the light of day ever again.
First light here, I actually did play this here just to do some trophy hunting.
And these are different times we're living in, folks.
And I actually did try to install and play Second Son again, but the disc would not read at all. I've noticed this with some other games as well. It will not read the game. Killzone Shadowfall. It says it won't read here. I ask this, people, seriously, tell me. Did Sony and the owners do something where you literally cannot play the game? Those games here? Because I heard they were doing that. They're making it so, yeah, you bought the game, too bad. You're not, even if you have the disc, you're never going to play that game again. Want to make sure of that. Wow. And of course, here we got the Resistance games, which they got it on streaming currently on PlayStation, which...
It's cherished is no longer around.
There's a lot.
Day, stress comes in every way. I ain't got no time for nobody. My style
Why do people like Forever the Rapper? No.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long.
Oh, I swear, just the beginning here makes me think so much.
So be sure to subscribe to Mojo Plays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Jak and Daxter series.
Little glowing squirrel about your size? full of spunk and crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
Ever since the series came to a close with Jak 3 and The Lost Frontier,
I'm playing
folks
those
have
games.
been clamoring for a fourth Jak and Daxter game.
Yeah, this is not on the list here. I am indeed going to replay all the games. I've already I played the first one for the first time, and it's in a stream, and played the second game on another stream. So I got Jak 3, Jak X Combat Racing, and unfortunately The Lost Frontier, because it was so bad, it's not to play. Even though I played that for the PS2 and enjoyed it.
Unbeknownst to most people, Naughty Dog has tried a handful of times to give us that fourth core game. There's just one problem. Every attempt has resulted in bigger, arguably better success than the games from the earlier years. The first attempt at Jak 4 resulted in Uncharted, which saw 3 sequels, a spin-off on PlayStation Vita, and a feature film.
What?
Should you have brought up the feature film? I mean, really? Nah, I'm not gonna have Uncharted as possible New Year's stream.
Yeah, so unless you want to end up in a Panamanian jail, we should probably handle this ourselves.
The second attempt led to The Last of Us, which sold absurd amounts of copies, more than Naughty Dog had ever seen before, and even spawned an acclaimed TV series on HBO.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's complicated.
Never played this game. Not interested in
As
this
for the third
game.
attempt, nothing came out of it but some decent concept art. However, said concept art was not capturing the look and spirit of the original games, according to internal staff.
I think I have seen those concept art, and they were definitely going with a more realistic look to Jak and Daxter. No, don't do that. We want cartoony.
Naughty Dog staff have expressed interest in bringing Jak and Daxter back, but with most of the original teams no longer being at the studio and Uncharted and The Last of Us seeing continuous success, is there much room for the duo anymore?
Yes! Yes!
Parappa the Rapper series.
No!
Step on the gas, now turn to the right. Check and turn the signal to the left. Check and turn the signals to the left. Step on the gas, now turn to the left.
For as
I
much as we
hate
can respect
rap.
the hip-hop hero, we have to admit that Parappa has had his time under the sun. It was short-lived, but Sony doesn't seem to care about him anymore, and simply hasn't since the PlayStation 2 days.
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper 2 came out in 2001, the original game was ported to PSP,
I will say
and then we got a remaster in 2017 that was really just another port. If Parappa 3 was,
It was
ever
weird
a
that
possibility,
we never got
we would have gotten it by
Parappa
now,
the
or at
Rapper
least heard of its cancellation.
during the whole rock band craze here with the music peripherals. It just makes so much sense here. You have a microphone, you're rapping to the lyrics like a
Japan
karaoke.
Studio is no longer around, and
Oh, yeah.
Parappa's creator, Masaya Matsura, could not get his spiritual successor to his original work off the ground. At this point, it's going to take a high-ranking executive within Sony to get the company behind the idea of bringing Parappa back, which is way, way easier said than done. Motor Storm series.
Nope. Don't surprise, really? This is
If you weren't too crazy about Gran Turismo back in the PS3 days, then chances are you were checking out the MotorStorm games instead. Not only was this the
surprised
alternative for
that-
those wanting an arcade racer instead
Really?
of a racing sim, it was also Sony's chance to compete in the off-road
this
racing
this kind of game
While the
you'd
series
think
went on
would
for
be
5 whole games before hitting
timeless.
dormancy just as the PS4 launched. MotorStorm's role
Like there
has been
should be
rendered
a
obsolete
new
in
game
PlayStation's
every year.
portfolio. And it is because of Gran Turismo.
Okay. Having never played MotorStorm and Gran Turismo, just looking at the example they put up here, we had MotorStorm and then they switched to Gran Turismo. I find myself, I'll say this. in Motorstorm, I don't see myself falling asleep when I'm watching gameplay of that, as opposed to this right now. Here, it's just kind of I'm bored just looking at it and just listening to the engines. Motorstorm just sounds more frenetic, more crazy. It's like Age of My Seat all the time. And yet it's failing because of Gran Turismo? I mean, don't get me wrong, I can understand. If you like Gran Turismo, more power to you. I mean, I watched that movie about that player who actually raced real, race car because of Gran Turismo.
Polyphony's recent titles have
thought it was a good movie.
off-road racing gameplay into their recent Gran Turismo games, albeit not in a super expansive way. Still, Sony would probably point to GT7 and its sales as the reason why Motorstorm is no longer around.
Motorstorm.
Who knows? Maybe one of those upcoming live service endeavors will result in a Motorstorm 2 or Pacific Rift 2.
Please don't say that, no. Enough with the live service has peaked. Now it can only go down. Don't ever do that, no.
Differentiate itself a bit from Polyphony's blockbuster racing sim.
Yeah, looking at this, it's very energetic. It's like more excitement here.
Heavenly Sword.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those games where I probably have a poll or something.
Heavenly
It'll probably
Sword
be multiple polls.
innovative action game from the early years of the PS3 with its unique control scheme, stunning visuals, and perfect pacing. The thing that pains us the most is that, well, despite what many people will tell you, nobody bought it. Even though a sequel had already been written and planned, Sony pulled the plug on Ninja Theory and moved the project to SCE Studio Cambridge. Ultimately, the sequel was canned in 2008.
Ow! And all we got from the first game was a goddamn animated movie with a CGI movie retelling, which I doubt many of you know about. But yes, and it was pretty bad.
The pact is at an end. Now I must pay the price.
According to co-director Tamim Antoniades, Heavenly Sword sold 1.5 million copies, yet failed to break even.
Meanwhile, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown apparently, tell me the numbers have been updated, people, has only sold 300,000 copies. What's going on with the gaming industry?
In Antoniades' own words, quote, "That's still not enough as an independent studio to break even. Ellipses. The publisher potentially breaks even at that point, but the developers don't."
Oh boy.
Quote. Sony did briefly resurrect Heavenly Sword in 2014 as an animated movie, for some reason.
Yeah.
But it ultimately failed as well. Sony
Yeah, there we go, you mentioned it.
Rico in a high regard, but
Which is more than her people did. Because she was a woman and the people were far more patriarchal, stuff like that here, i.e. they were idiots.
Sony's numbers will always say different. Sly Cooper series.
I want to see how well you pay attention.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll unleash my mighty mojo magic upon you.
While Ratchet and Clank continue to get sequels,
Okay,
and
I've never
Dexter
played
Wallow into
Sly.
obscurity,
Been
what about the
thinking
other
about
third
it?
of the PlayStation 2 mascots?
I don't know.
Well, there was a moment where Sony seemed to want to continue Sly Cooper, despite the
But yeah, it's
controversial
like,
Thieves in Time. In
this
January
game has such a
2014,
strong
Rainmaker
following
dropped a teaser
that
trailer for a Sly
why not?
Cooper movie with a
Oh,
release
yeah, I
window
remember that.
scheduled for 2016.
Never happened.
Alas, 2016 came and went with no word about the movie's fate.
In fact, fun fact, 2016 was when GameStop all just evacuated the island here. Yeah. Just bring this game back. Just drop it. Just give him a new game. A new little game here with some promotion. And, I don't know.
Then, in 2017,
I don't know.
Sony announced a Sly Cooper TV show that would premiere in 2019.
And I heard about that too.
And
never happened.
Again, nothing has been said of the project since.
I don't know, but one thing's certain. My hunch was correct. We are the only ones with a time machine.
And then, random rumors started cropping up in 2022 regarding Sucker Punch working on a brand new game in the series, which the developer quickly shot down. Not only that, they flat out stated, quote, "We have no plans to revisit Infamous or Sly Cooper right now, and no other studio is currently working on projects related to those franchises either," end quote. Sucker Punch is currently working on Ghost of Yotei, the long-awaited follow-up to 2020's Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch also stated, quote, "We'd never say never to reopening those doors," end quote, although we aren't holding our breaths to see our favorite ring-tailed thief again.
Yeah. Boy, and with the way Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei are being so massive open world, they can't afford to, like, split their attention. It's one of those things where it's all hands on deck to focus on this one project now. It's no longer just a bunch of people divided up into groups here where they can work on their small, like, 8 to 10 hour linear experience game anymore. It's like this massive open world here with tens to hundreds of hours of stuff you can do here. You gotta get everything right, blah, blah, blah. So everyone has to come together.
We may just get PS4 and PS5 ports, and that'll be
it.
What Dimitri plans to do with the Clockwork part is beyond me. But those plans end tonight.
Infamous series.
And you just mentioned from that, no idea, but yeah, okay, so there's another option here. If I can replay the Infamous series, maybe one or two, some New Year stream, who knows?
Before we move on from Sucker Punch, you probably noticed Infamous was caught in the rumor with Sly.
Yep.
Fans have been begging for Sony and Sucker Punch to bring the first two Infamous games to PS5.
Yep.
If not a
PS4, PS5,
Indeed,
something.
The first two games were ahead of their times when it came to mechanics, animation, and physics engines. Seriously, if you go back and play these games, they're running at like 10 frames per second. Alas, not.
I'm gonna have to, because I don't recall that. I know that the issue with bringing forth these exclusive PS3 games, it's a whole thing where they were made to work on the very complicated, like, cell processor of the original PS3, and thus that actually makes it difficult to transfer. That's what I hear. I don't know if that's some change or not, but
every studio wants to be the studio known for one game. And with their pedigree, Sony is going to let Sucker Punch do whatever they want and whatever they believe works best.
I mean, First Light still works fine. I play it. I did some trophy hunting. It was good.
I need you.
If that means moving on from Infamous, then yeah,
but
Sucker Punch may never revisit Cole, Delson, or Fetch ever again. Who knows? Maybe PlayStation Productions can spice up the superhero movie scene with an adaptation of Cole's first game.
Yeah.
That, or compete as a TV series against the boys with, like, I don't know, the Conduits. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that actually. That's Conduits, what they call people who have these powers, and makes for a great TV show title. Also, it's not lost to me here that they did not use Infamous Second Son gameplay footage. Yeah, let me guess. They have the same problem I did, where the game would not refuse start up.
Resistance series.
Maybe I'll make the poll.
PS3 series
Maybe I will, but it'd be Resistance 2. Because I played Resistance 1 again not that long ago, so...
Resistance was one of the more unique titles in terms of visuals and weaponry. This was a series that got progressively darker in tone and how much
Yeah.
the cast struggled in their fight against the Chimera.
Because the Chimera kept winning.
Captivating side of Insomniac.
You
we had
win
to
a
see
battle,
before,
but these guys quickly
Insomniac is ultimately the Grim Reaper of this IP
Yep.
because of one big brand. Marvel.
Yeah, that's right. They're currently working on Wolverine still.
As revealed in the 2023 Insomniac leak, the studio has its plate full for the next decade, working almost exclusively on Marvel licensed games. There is a planned Ratchet & Clank
Sorry, I
game
probably lowered
in
it down too
between
much.
all of that, but it isn't scheduled for release until 2029. If you love Spider-Man and X-Men, you might love this direction Insomniac is heading. But for those of us
I
wanting
like
a
it,
simple
but-
PS5 port of the Resistance games, well, it'll be a miracle for that to happen at this point, especially when the series didn't exactly push units.
Well, I like this game here. Okay, as I said, I replayed the first game not that long ago. Enjoyed it. You saw me stream the PSP game when they brought it into PS5. And I even platinumed Burning Skies. Imagine platinum that game. And I don't get why people thought it was a bad game. I enjoyed it. So I want more Resistance.
Killzone series.
Yep. So Infamous and this one were on the thumbnail.
Killzone was another unique FPS series Sony had under its belt, and it was the series that would show the potential Guerrilla Games had prior to making Horizon.
Yes, you know, just the first game, remastered, or a remake of the first game, please. I actually did try to do some trophy hunting on the second game. The controls definitely were not easy to handle. And my God, was it hard. I tried, but I never could get that trophy where you use the nail gun to nail people to a wall on any surface. Never happened. There's no trophy tracker progress or anything like that. I think that needs to be standard.
Even Sony got behind the series, as it once deemed it the Halo killer. As we've seen in the past decades, Killzone never really got off the ground.
Yeah,
Hardcore
but
PS3
it could have
liked
been.
But in a world where everyone was obsessing over Call of Duty more than any other shooter in the late 2000s, Killzone just did not stand a chance.
I prefer this over Call of Duty.
Even in 2013, when Killzone Shadowfall
Again,
released
I tried to
alongside
play
the PS4,
Shadowfall,
folks
and
still didn't show up to champion the IP.
the game wouldn't
Commercial
start.
Success, yes.
I don't get it.
Horizon Zero Dawn changed Guerrilla Games' trajectory. Since 2017, Guerrilla and Sony have stuck
For better or
with
for
Horizon
worse,
and have been
you tell
going
me.
hard on sequels, spin-offs, and remasters left and right.
Oh,
in
yeah.
2024, Guerrilla Games even stated themselves that they have moved on from Killzone and have no desire to go back. Guess we're just never getting that Killzone collection, huh?
Nope.
You take point. We gotta stop the Hellgas breaking through our lines and get us out of this alive. Yes, sir.
Little Big Planet
Ah,
series.
yeah. But yeah, tell me, should I play the Killzone game, maybe? So there's a lot,
This
but Little
one
Big Planet.
admittedly hurts to tread. For a
Yeah.
time, Sackboy was considered
I do want
the
to get
mascot
Sackboy
of
a big
PlayStation.
adventure.
He was a character that was malleable
It
to
is
put
ridiculous,
in so many
'cause
different games, and was often
it didn't-
the
he
choice
didn't,
guest character
like,
for
grow to
third-party
be
games
the
like
mascot?
3D Dot Game
I always
Heroes
thought of him
and
as a mascot
Minecraft.
character
On
for
top of that,
PlayStation.
Little Big Planet
But
was a
no, he
valuable
actually
IP
fell
for
off,
Sony
and it's now
throughout
Astro
the
Boy,
PS3 era and during some of
Nothing
the
wrong with
early
Astro
PS4
Boy, but
years.
come on,
However,
we could have
after
him
LBP3,
and Sackboy.
Sony kind of stopped seeking Sackboy-related projects.
Inspiration dried up. We teetered on the brink of the abyss. And then we heroes came.
Sure, we got Sackboy A Big Adventure in 2020 when the PS5 launched, but you know what character people latched onto at that time? It was Astrobot.
Yep.
Since Astro's Playroom, all folks can think about is that game and Astrobot. So much so that we finally got a standalone
Astrobot,
Astrobot game in 2024.
Which
the game does
I have to
feature
get.
a rescuable Sackboy bot, but with Astro seeing such resounding success, more than any ounce of success Sackboy ever saw, well, that Toy Story meme perfectly encapsulates the whole situation.
Oh.
R.I.P. in peace, Sackboy.
Sorry, Sackboy. It's unfair.
EverQuest series.
Never played it. Not interested. Never was.
In the case of EverQuest, this is the most glaring and confusing omission in PlayStation's portfolio. Once upon a time,
this was actually
EverQuest was one of the biggest
console
and most
game?
popular MMORPGs on the market. And while the first game was only ever released on PC, the IP found a home on PS2 with Champions of Norath, which even saw a sequel in 2007 with Champions Return to Arms.
Never heard of this
Sony
game.
has never given hard numbers on sales, EverQuest is still available today on PC and has an active player base of more than 80,000 players. So
I'm not surprised.
Why not invest in trying to bring EverQuest to console and further grow that player base? Or why not remake, remaster, or port Champions of Norath for old players to revisit and new players to discover?
Because just expecting like maybe a quick twice as many players or so, and then it petered off into back to like 80, or old school players do not like it, stuff like that, do not like the remake, remaster, or port over, etc., they find complaints. It's too much of a risk. They don't want to rock the boat. That's just it. They do not want to risk it anymore. Not when so much money is on the line here and they're teetering on the edge. They're adverse to risks now.
Considering Sony's ambition to break into the live service market, you would think EverQuest would be a key player in those plans. And yet, Sony seems to have no interest in expanding this IP anymore. It's baffling.
Yeah, if they did, they would have started it in the beginning of the whole live service craze. But now, too little too late.
But tell me, which of these PlayStation franchises would you love to see return in some way? I am definitely pushing for EverQuest, if you cannot tell. I've talked about Champions of Norath so many times. It's maddening that Sony continues to ignore this game. But
well, let's see. Heavenly Sword, Resistance, Infamous, Killzone. Heck, even Sackboy, I'll take that one. The others, I don't care much. Proper the Rapper, Jack and Daxter. It's like, why not? Come on, just stick to the cartoony art style. Don't try to make it real. We've got a lot of those. Guess what we don't have a lot of anymore? Cartoonish-like games. Like, there were some great fun scenes with Daxter that makes me laugh out loud whenever I think about it. It's still all up to date here, so yeah, stop trying to make it real. Stick to the cartoony stuff. It works for Ratchet and Clank. So why can't you make it like they did Ratchet and Clank here? Like, you can still see the origins. Like Ratchet's just got much more detail in the fur, everything like that. So there's a lot of games here that could indeed be for a poll of a New Year's stream, like Heavenly Sword, Infamous, the first one or the second one. Resistance will definitely be the second game, because I played the first, like I said. Killzone, maybe 2. Yeah, Killzone 2. Oh boy, but yeah. It's like the video game company these days, they're too afraid. It's like, because games are now ridiculously expensive, they're they have to be humongous. So humongous that the game cannot fit in a disc. They have to have all this stuff here that promotes us to spend real world extra money here. To nickel and dime us. They gotta make these DLCs. And of course, they have to be released, like, need them out. No. Oh, it's only like 95% finished, and there's a bunch of game-breaking bugs. Doesn't matter. Release it now. We'll release it day 1 or day 2, day 5, day whatever patch. Like, how is that not a risk? You're so risk averse here, you do that? The point where it costs you money? Get a budget. Like a very short budget. And stop making these open world sandbox crap games. It's like go back to linear. It's like, my god, like I like to see people go back to old games that, like, the review stuff, like review people like IGN or whatever. I don't know. People who like at first negatively reviewed a game for being too linear. Go back and like, oh god, yes, this linear game, point A to point B. It's so refreshing. It's like, what did I think of it the first time? It's like, oh wow, my standards have changed. Because that's how it is here. Like, I don't want to play any more open world games here. Just give me a strict A to B to C to D, all the way beginning and end game. Oh, yeah, a bit of like exploring every little nook and cranny, but straight line. This is why I liked Callisto Protocol so much. It was a strict linear game here. There was a bit of there was like going back some places, but you follow a straight line, can make a circle, go new locations, but that's it. It was so refreshing. It was like, yes, thank you. And it's a game I would replay. All right, I'm done. So guys, thank you for watching. Tell me what you would like to see me play here of the games I said for a New Year's stream. Heavenly Sword, Resistance, Infamous, etc. Tell me. And any other games you can think of that you think would be great for a New Year's stream, down in the comments. Until then, this is Mecha-san, logging out.